Welcome to High Value Blueprint, the epicenter of bold insights and unapologetic truth. Today, we're breaking down a Kevin Samuels moment that's got the internet in shambles. Let's get into it.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I'm all right. Go ahead. How old are you?
I am 23. Wait, can I just not be on YouTube, please?
You're not.
Okay, thank you. I'm 23.
So how's things changed post average at best?
I love it here. I agree with everything you said. Or say in your videos. A lot has changed because I just didn't see certain things from a man's perspectives, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. Just certain little things I took after really like binging your content like in an embarrassing way. I took classes. I took cooking classes. I got a cookbook. I got a cookbook because I was like, I didn't know how.
I don't need a cookbook.
How bad it was. It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty. It was kind of embarrassing. Like, but I just wanted to say, like, I agree and I love it. I love everything you say.
Well, here's the thing. I appreciate it, and here's the thing: men, we don't expect women to all of a sudden abandon who they are. But the difference in how men in the chat room are responding to the 23-year-old woman versus a 25-year-old woman are night and day. I had to mute her. And I need you ladies to understand that the need to be right is pathological with many of you.
Execute Order 66.
Getting over the need to be right will do more to further your relationships with men than anything. This is where matrilineal, patrilineal, upsilineal, downsilenial, upset the hypotenuse around the what? Get the hell out of here. Nobody want to hear all that mess. Look at the men in the chat room like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Who'd want to deal with that? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Kiara. And I only deal with educated women. I don't deal with women, because I'm sapio. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 22. Can I not be on YouTube, please?
Sure, go ahead. We're going to get through it kind of quickly, though. So how have things changed since the average at best video or in the last year?
Yeah, so the biggest things for me are that, one, you really forced me to examine how many decisions I was making out of fear. And it was so many. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely taking a step back, assessing that. And I'm also on what I call my forgiveness tour. So I'm being able to forgive everyone. I even had some issues and some separation from my mom for like 5 years. I've been able to forgive her from that. So yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you for holding the mirror to us women, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Well, that forgiveness thing is powerful. You forgive you. The person that benefits the most from that stuff is you. It's always going to be the same place. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Olivia. Hold on. I'm going to mute you real quick. Olivia, unmute yourself. Hello.
Yes, sir. Hi, how are you doing?
I can barely hear you. Your audio is a little bit off. How are you?
I'm doing well. Is this a little better?
Yeah. How old are you?
I am 28 years old.
Okay, so how's life different since in the last year?
For me personally, I have found since discovering your videos, it's made me break the fantasy of what I thought relationships were, specifically marriages. Meaning, I think I had these expectations of them always it always being a good time,
right?
And things always going well.
Okay, yeah, I think it's interesting that a lot of women before last year were perfectly fine with being in debt, having to work hard, living kind of paycheck to pay, just living normal, and then understanding that they had to have delayed gratification, all these kind of things, but same women, when you ask them about marriage, they also want to become stay-at-home like wives with multiple children and not having to work to do anything except being responsible for maybe 10%. Like,
right.
So you're willing to live your life alone with a cat or a dog, maybe female roommates. But if you get a man, he has to basically be rich in order for him to be a husband. So I'm glad that's kind of gotten through that. I'm down for the high value man. You know all about that. But most of us are average. Most of us are average. Let me get to you real quick down here in the corner. Sarah, what is that? Sarah, hello.
Sarathia.
There you go. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I am well. So how's life different in the last year?
It's been hurtful and amazing at the same time.
Hurtful and amazing. Oh shit.
Yes, it has. I discovered you in July when one of my coworkers approached me and she said, I want to know how to be a high value woman. You know, I like the way you carry yourself. And so I went on YouTube and I searched how to be a high value woman because I'm like, I'm not a high value woman. And
he said he wanted you to be he said he wanted you to be a high value woman?
No, my coworker, she was a woman.
Okay.
And I discovered your video on the tips on how to be a high value woman.
Okay.
And so then I started from all of your videos from the beginning. And now I'm engaged because I realized I'm a 4, maybe on a good day. And I sat with that. I said, you know what? And the only reason why I know that I'm a 4 and I just rock with it and I overperform and outperform in other areas is because I've spent too much of my life. I'm 38 now. I spent too much of my life pretending that I'm an 8 and a 9, lying to myself that I'm an 8 and a 9, manipulating men, thinking that I'm an 8 or a 9, delusional. Like you, I had times where I cried. There was a time where I stopped watching you because I was watching back to back to back faithfully after you did your show on body count. That hurt. But I took it because I said, shoot, oh my gosh, that is so true. But I didn't let it define moving forward. I accepted what you said. I love your honesty because I had to look at myself. My fiance watches you faithfully. I watch you faithfully. He heard me say in July, oh, I'm watching Kevin Samuels. He's like, But when he started implementing, when he saw me starting to implement it, one of the things I implement is I left a career in emergency management where I was making $9,000 to $12,000 a month. I left that career before he proposed to me. I left that career so that I could be home. I'm in my own home until we get married, but so I could be home and support him, like you said. I sat down and I said, what do I bring to the table? I have a child. My womb's been used, like you said. And I said, okay, I have a degree, but how can I take this or have a degree where it's not, I'm a PhD. I'm not a PhD. I'm good at Microsoft and Excel. So I sit at home and I support him when he has clients and stuff where he has to complete tasks. I say, well, is there any way that I can assist you or help you? Or have you thought about doing things this way? If he takes it, he takes it. If not, I'll sit home and I'll put together some things. I work from home. I do.
Are you less stressed now?
I am so, I'm gonna tell you this. You did a show asking, can modern women be traditional? And my answer is no. We will never be traditional. It's impossible. It's like a drug addict and someone who's been an alcoholic. Once you are that, you're that. The goal is to do the work daily to not fall back.
Right. So you can still have high quality of life.
That's right. That's right. And so it hurts because my inner being still says modern, but what I'm exercising now is traditional values. And it's at 30 years of life and the way the world and movies and everything is, I have to choose to be who I want to be. You have to choose it every day, every second, and it hurts. Sometimes I get up.
Let me let you understand that the men on the other side, we weren't raised by the 80% of us were raised out of wedlock. So the men who make it over to that side, that's all they've been asking for. Is we've had to make ourselves these things, and our failures and things like that, just like your shortcomings. We're both imperfect, But if we're willing to at least do our work and wake up every day and say, I'm not going to be traditional, but I can still have a high quality of life and still move forward, that's all men were ever asking for. So 2022 is going to be about self-awareness, which what you just said, you understand this is who I am and what I am, and then taking that and getting the most out of it. But now you say you're engaged, right?
Yes, sir.
That's a hell of a thing at 38. That's a hell of a thing at 38. That's a good thing.
It is. And like I said, it's a daily process. I went crawling back after I watched several of your videos. I went crawling back to my fiance, crying, apologizing, being mean, being manipulative. And then as time went on, I said, you're the prize and you have the right to exercise. You can go get a lean. I went and got me a Becky friend that not a friend, but I learned from other people outside of my culture and how they speak to their men, and just getting outside of who I thought we were supposed to be.
Hold on, and ladies understand, it's the doing. When men see women doing something different, that starts to rebuild a trust and a vision of what's possible. See, all this stuff, you'll look up and a couple of years later, you guys are going to have a completely different outcome as long as you guys stay on this very frank, open, and honest. Because one, you were raised one way, the men were raised another way. This self-awareness thing, and as long as we're on the path of just keeping it that way, we understand this and moving forward. This has changed. Things like this have the ability to change generations. So congratulations. I'm gonna move on with somebody else though.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. See, a lot of you ladies think that you have to do Herculean things. Men just want to see effort. I'm gonna bring a couple more people in here. Oh yeah, I remember who that woman was. Yeah, ladies, you can't be here. Ladies, you don't have to be perfect. What is it? Do you change your name? Yeah, don't have to be perfect, ladies. And just like the whole thing saying that, I am a 4 or whatever. Look, people are trying to be, let's see. Who is this? Brittany? Unmute yourself, Brittany.
Hi,
Hello?
Kevin. How are you doing?
I'm well. How old are you?
I'm 24.
All right. So how have things been different this year?
Well, I will say that the first video that my longtime boyfriend showed me of you was the one that was titled High Value Men Cheat. Also, can I not?
Oh, yeah. High value men cheat. Yeah. Go ahead.
That was the first video. And I was just like, who is this man? Turn this off. This is madness. I was very, very upset. I was like, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that. But, after listening to it, and listening to your rationale, and then him explaining it to me also, I definitely calmed down. I came to more of an understanding. I came from a family where the men cheated, my father and my grandfather. My mother didn't stay. My grandmother did stay. And so, I kind of always had the idea that I would not stay. But I just have more of an understanding now, especially knowing that so many women initiate their divorces. And I definitely want to stay in my marriage.
I want to say something to you ladies on this: high value men don't cheat. I need you ladies to understand crystal clear. When I say high value men don't cheat, instead they exercise options, that does not mean it is mandatory. High value men have more options than average men. But you know what they want more than anything else, Brittany? Ladies in the audience, you know what men want more than anything else? Men, your man wants you to know and understand, look at him and act as if you know he is valuable to other women and appreciate the fact that he is yours. Men often leave because they're not getting that appreciation. They may be getting sex, but they're not getting apologies. Men, have you ever heard a woman tell a man, I was at the grocery store and the man said, ooh, tell your husband he's lucky, so and so and so and so. You heard that before?
Yeah.
Women say that to their men all the time. Your man wants you to know that you lucky, that your man wants you to know and act like you are fortunate to have him in your life. Act like it and verbalize it. That can't be replaced by any other female on the planet. I don't care what kind of vagina she has. That's really one of the motivating factors for men. If y'all just act like y'all appreciate us after y'all get us, options or not, and most guys don't exercise options. They have them. So, I'm glad it worked. I'm glad you heard that, and I know a lot of women are like, when I first heard my husband. I was listening to a woman earlier last week. She said that her husband turned her on to the videos. Ladies, if your man tunes you into my platform, there is a reason. Try to put your emotions to the side and understand what he's trying to tell you. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, good evening, aloha.
How old are you? Uh-oh. Come on now.
A proud 41-year-old.
Oh, I got you. So how's life different?
Life is different because I was given an opportunity to live life differently.
Okay.
And I had lived most of my young adulthood life as a single parent.
Okay.
And while I still am, my daughter is an adult now. And
This is how life is different after watching my videos?
Well, I'm hoping that it will be.
What I'm trying to understand is, have you this video? This is a specific show. It's about how is life different this year after the whole average at best video. So can you kind of tailor? Is that what you're calling in to talk about?
I can do that.
All right. So kind of narrow it down to that focus.
So much of what was said over that video and some of your others, because believe it or not, I was only able to watch 2. That video and a previous one.
Okay.
But I'm seeing a lot of those instances appear in just this 1 year of me exercising this new life of mine. I'm pretty hopeful.
Hold on. You've only been able to get through 2 of my videos?
This is now 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. So
and 2 videos and then this live. So
okay.
3.
So how long? So when did you discover my content? When did you discover my content?
Today, this evening.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes sense. Because people don't know, and you say you've been able to get through 2 videos. If they're thinking over a year, they're like, dang.
Yes.
Keep watching. I'm going to get into some other folks.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay. See, I think one of the things this should also help single mothers understand is a lot of single mothers hate my content because they love their children. They love their children and they believe their children are everything. But to the world, your child is another person. And so many women were told that it's acceptable. We've gone from before, when I was born, women were shamed for having children outside of wedlock, and you didn't even talk about it till now. Women are proudly having children by multiple men out of wedlock, and then telling men that I'm a package deal and you need to be proud to raise. I've heard a woman actually say that almost it's godly. And so many women, single mothers, that's one group of women, and then women who tend to be overweight. The groups of women that tend to really have a visceral reaction are women who overestimate their sexual marketplace value. And wait till next week when I go into the next part of sexual marketplace value. If you think 2021 was something, wait till the next part. A young lady, I remember who you were. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. It's not going to happen. Yeah, the young lady that was on earlier, she'd called in before. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna allow. I do have one question though. I do have one question. Yeah. So that's what.
Can I stay off YouTube?
Excuse me?
I would like to stay off YouTube.
Have you noticed a market difference in the way in which you choose to communicate versus the way the other women have chosen to communicate?
Yes.
What have you noticed?
Well, you made a thorough example of me, didn't you?
Say again?
I said you made a thorough example of me.
No, I didn't do anything.
You reprimanded me.
I'll ask the question again. Have you noticed the difference in the way you've chosen to communicate versus the other women? And you said you have. And I asked you how you did, and you turned it down to be being accountable for it. You've chosen to communicate this way.
And you've chosen to communicate the way you've chosen to communicate.
So
I'm not upset with you for it. I told you I appreciate it.
I've told you before, young lady. What you feel about me is fine. But what you see me to miss is these, except for one woman, other women were black. And my point was, just like you feel sympathy for how those women are combative and them felt such and so forth, it's because that's you.
Of course.
Well, and that's the problem. Just like it was them, you or you, it's a choice. So there's no reason to be sympathetic to someone who chooses to be disagreeable. You let them be disagreeable and own everything that comes positive or negative. You're free to be disagreeable. You're free to be argumentative. You're free to exercise as much sign language as you see necessary. And you take the only thing men want from women is to accept accountability and consequences for it all. Don't blame anybody. That's what you have done multiple times. That is what men find unacceptable.
Well, I simply don't know what to say, truly. I've thought about how this would go many times. I mean, I've watched your show for quite a while and I've wanted to call in. And I actually tried to book a session with you, but I couldn't afford it. And I tried to reach out to you through email and through Instagram. And I really only called onto your show as a last resort. And what I wanted to tell you was how you changed me personally. Like during the pandemic, I was a real shut-in, to tell you the truth. I mean, I didn't go out. The pandemic, it caused me to leave school because it was just a lot of chaos and they closed down the campus. So I left school and I moved back in with my parents. And that was the first time I'd been living with my parents since I was like 14 or 15 years old, like full time. And so, you know, my parents are baby boomers and they're very, very traditional, you know, very, very devout. And they've always held us to a certain standard. And it was very difficult at first to live with them and my siblings, who are also in their 20s. And, I became very, very depressed at a point because, I think the pandemic was very depressing for many of us, with especially all the killings that were happening. And I think I really had a breakdown. And anyway, when I started watching your videos, I started going to the gym. And I started for the first time. I don't know if you've watched the show. It's on HBO. It's called Mad Men. But I think that you would be a character on Mad Men. But it's about like these.
It's AMC. AMC, Mad Men, the advertising show.
Yes. It's about like advertisers and like these, like
Don Draper, and Roger Sterling. Yeah, young lady, why do you think you were having? Why do you think you were having so much? Why do you think you were in such chaos? Why do you think you were in such conflict when you went home with your traditional parents, who were baby boomers?
Because we came up in completely different environments, socially and culturally and technologically.
Right. How do you feel like you're interacting with your current situation, your current culture? I mean, your current generation, your current time frame. Are you thriving? Are you doing average, below average, above average?
I think it's hard for me to say. I know a lot of people. I'm like a zillennial. I think that's like the term for my generation. I'm a zillennial. So not a millennial.
Is life matching up to your expectations?
I mean, honestly, sir, I guess it depends on the way you look at it. Yes, for the most part. I mean, I don't know if you know much about like millennials and zillennials, but we don't have a lot of money.
Hold on. Excuse me. Hold on. I have a 21-year-old daughter. I mean, I don't think it's kind of crazy to think I don't know when I talk to people every day. But it almost sounds to me as though I'm asking you: is life meaning at 25? Is this where you expected to be at 25?
I think so, yes. I would say I'm healthier than I've ever been before.
Okay.
I wanted to tell you that because part of it was I started to go to the gym, and I actually started this particular kind of like exercise called CrossFitness. And I'm the only Black woman at my gym.
Okay.
And
young
it has
lady,
been an
hold on. Oh,
experience.
okay, all right. You got a lot going on, and I would just say this: have you graduated?
No, I'll graduate in spring.
Are you still living at home with your parents?
Yes, it's in our culture. It's traditional for a woman to live with their parents until they're married.
When you graduate, are you going to be living at home with your parents until you're married?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, you just said in my culture it's tradition for us to live at home until we're married. So are you going to be living at home with your parents until you're married?
I'm not sure.
Why not? You just said in your culture it's traditional to live at home with their parents until you're married.
It is.
Are you going to live at home with your parents until you're married? Are you going to live at home with your parents until you're married? See, the question I keep asking is, you bounce back and forth between the culture when it benefits you, and you can shuck it when it doesn't. Which is it?
I'm trying to explain it to you, sir, but
you explain it to me very well. You're a modern woman. You're a modern woman, a dual-minded modern woman.
I've never
and people don't feel sorry for dual-minded women. You cannot play the sympathy card and say, woe is me, and then want to be a modern goddamn woman. You can't say traditional when it benefits you and modern when it benefits you. And the problem is women like you are living in conflict with reality. Hello, Keisha, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 45 Good. Next month.
Cool. So how are things different this year?
Oh, goodness. I would say I found your content maybe 8 months ago, and it didn't hit as hard as what I'm hearing other people say, probably because I was already moving in a lot of masculine energy and tended to use a little bit more analysis and logic than some of my counterparts or friends. But it was definitely disruptive in a positive way. It's kind of like blowing up the foundation and building from scratch a lot of information. So it's been difficult. It's been very difficult. I've put myself into therapy. I've put my two daughters, or I asked them to.
Well, there you go.
And they've, and I'm getting married next month.
Hey,
and one of that I struggle with is the practicing, because it's like when you fire off the bullet, when you're mouthy for no reason, confrontational, combative, aggressive. You know, I'm aware of those things now, but sometimes I'll slip up and something will come out, and then it's like I see it, and I have to apologize immediately and work on not.
How do you? 44.
44. I'll be 45 in January.
Okay, I'll give you a little bit. At our age, we are pretty much who we are. The ability to apologize and really, really feel empathy for your partner goes a long way. None of us are perfect. We all are imperfect, especially by our age. Look, if we were trees and you were to cut us, you'd see the rings, okay? That's not going away. You're not going to undo decades of use. But this is where us being more wise. When you mess up, just I mess up. I'm sorry. And mean it. And it goes a long way. It really, really does. Men and women, I've found that are willing to accept a lot more and give grace and mercy if someone is willing to, in good faith, approach. I mean, it means the world to us men because we don't like conflict with y'all either. We really want to get on to the good part. Remember that song, Women Gonna Get to the Good Part. To the good part, that old new school jam. We want to get to the good part. We ain't got many more years left. God damn, we don't want to spend attention and stress and in therapy. We want to get to the good part. Let's get down to the good part. Just apologize. You'll be all right. Congratulations, though.
Thank you. That was my next point, though, because I'm hearing about all the relationships. So, I'm already working a lot. I work like 6+ hours a week. And like I said, I put myself in a very masculine role, masculine energy. But one of the things that, aside from building and rebuilding the relationships that I have with my fiance and with my daughters, my father, my brother, I was not paying attention to how the finances were flowing. And one of my biggest concerns now is how I'm going to get buried, who's going to take care of me, and, living check to check to make sure I put my daughter through school. I didn't think through a lot of those things. And after listening to you, you kind of forced me to sit down. And I always praise myself to be very logical, but that totally missed marking. That totally missed it. So I really appreciate what you do.
I'm gonna tell you something. Next week you're gonna love my broadcast because I'm gonna go in on this student loan, school, this debt. I really firmly believe, I can't prove it, but this stuff is targeted a lot to us to keep us in financial. Anyway, I'm gonna go next week because now that we're starting to understand that you're not the enemy, I'm not the enemy, we need each other. We have to find out that we want each other, we need each other, and we're better together. That gives us something to work on. I get so tired of hearing black people discuss black relationships. I went off on some big people today. They were all over 40, and the men and the women. My wife ain't this and that. The whole battle action that this woman over here. I'm just like, oh, y'all shut the fuck up. I'm like, when you go around non-black people, do you hear this much bullshit? Do you hear this much drama? It's all negative. And that's what we got to get a hold of. Us Generation X people got to get a hold of our mouths and how we discuss each other. Because we learn wrong things. And we know sometimes we just be talking and don't mean it. But it matters to the millennials and the zennials and everybody else because that is part of our ethnic image. That's on us as Generation X to learn how to control this demon tongue. Don't say a damn thing. It's oftentimes better to say nothing than say something. And the fact that you are becoming aware, more self-aware, you're going to be right on track for 2022 because self-awareness is sexy. There you go. Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Thanks. Same to you.
All right. Ladies, black women owe 22% more in college debt than white women on average. Jesus Christ. I said this to a brother today too. Oh, I better be careful how I say that. I got to do a program on this. Gentlemen, as an aside, move this to the side. How much do you think a quality woman should cost? Because women are an expense. Women are an expense. And if you are not trying to move a legacy or have children or whatever, but if you're in that 80% of black men who want relationships and that 43% who want marriage or in a long-term relationship, I know you exist. You gotta understand that women are an expense. And this may sound cold and callous, but I need you guys to start thinking. I'm talking to the men now, not the ladies. Ladies, close your ears. Close your ears and go la 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 la. Close your ears and go la la la. I don't want you listening. Okay. Guys, you got to start thinking of a woman almost like a vehicle. You know what kind of vehicle you want, but every vehicle you get is the cost of the purchase price and the cost of ownership. What is the cost of ownership for the kind of woman you want? A lot of people don't buy certain vehicles because the cost of ownership is too high. Well, I only like educated women, so I can't sit around. I got to expect a woman to have a certain amount of, there's consumer debt, the student loan debt, there's other kind of things. Whole program on it. Whole program. I'm going to have guys call in on it because I know guys are going to lose their shit. But we got to talk about it. But that does not mean you buy anything. I'm still on your side. Remember that. Still on your side. All right, let's go. How's life changed since Average at Best?
Hi, Mr. Samuels.
How are you? Go ahead.
I'm great. And yourself?
I'm well. How's life changed?
Okay. Well, honestly, I was one of those people who've seen the video, reacted like, who is this person? But honestly, I'm the type of person who gives people the benefit of the doubt. So I went to go watch one video and I was like, oh my gosh, he's making sense. I almost was embarrassed because I watched one clip and instantly made an assumption. Mm-hmm. And after doing my research, I was like, oh my gosh, he's making sense. And I'm showing other people and they're like, no, that man, he's just talking crazy, this, and the third. And I consumed hours of it. I probably started watching 2 or 3 months ago and I've caught up. I'm very much up to date. And it made me look at myself and I thought I was raised with you are a queen, you are this, you are that. You don't need to be looking for somebody who is X, Y, and Z. But I had to understand, well, what am I bringing? And you put the spotlight on me and other Black women who, unfortunately, some have not seen yet. Mm-hmm. But I had to look at myself and realize that, oh my gosh, I'm 23. I didn't say my age. I'm wasting so much time. So I took this year towards the end, winter is coming. I was on that move. Mm-hmm. I live in Miami. I'm now moving to Dallas, into a city where
moving to a city where marriage is possible. Miami, a damn sure ain't.
Right. I understood that the degree that I was going for is it's not a job, Right. And I want those things, and I'm definitely your videos are free game. And people just need to eat the meat and spit out the bones. And every time I bring it to somebody, I'm like, is he lying though? Is he lying?
See, what you start doing is start bringing me. Don't bring me, just bring the game.
Right.
It's kind of like, back in the day, they used to do blind taste tests. They would have like a can here and a can here. Which one do you like? Soda A or soda B? I mean, A or B? Go back and look at the taste test challenge. And then people were like, ooh, I like soda A better. And then they reveal it and it's like Pepsi or some shit. And you're thinking, I like Coke. Do the blind taste test. I don't need the credit. I just need women to start understanding that men want to hear women say what you just said. I am starting to consider men and who I am and what I do impacts my future with the kind of man I say I want. That's what men have always wanted. Men do not want perfection. They don't want women that are this big, who ride unicorns and float on clouds. They don't want that. Men want actual, real women who just think about us. We're not asking for a lot. Just that. So thank you, and enjoy your last bit in Miami. But Dallas is much better. Yeah. And if I were you, I would. West Village is a great place to live in Dallas. The rent's a little bit higher, but you're in the middle of everything.
I got Richardson, so it's a start.
Well, just make sure you actually. I would find a nice church home there, because church is a great place to network, and whatever's going to bring, like Uptown West Village, McKinney, Uptown West Village area. There's a lot of stuff to do around that area. Make sure you also join if you're in Richardson, join a gym that has a lot of, like, if you 24-hour fitness right around Lover's Lane on I-75, probably gonna be the best place to join. All right, have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Good night.
Bye-bye. Look, man, I get women every day. Oh, I see you, Brittany. Brittany, you're next, and then Jasmine, and then Francis. Hey, Brittany, how are you?
Hi, Kevin. Nervous.
Hey, that's okay. You just talk to me. Let me say something to the audience. I'm saying next week, audience, when I talk about this student loan debt, oh my God, y'all gonna have. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you 6 hours notice. You gonna need wine. You're going to need wine. Okay, how are you, Brittany?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 31.
All right. How has things changed how has things been different this year?
Well, since I've been starting to watch your videos, it's kind of similar to Saraphia, I think her name was, but it just really made me realize a lot of things that I was doing before that I guess I was oblivious of. Mm-hmm. I really had a selfish mindset, and I didn't really consider men's feelings or even to think that they had them. And I felt, I don't know, it's a once you actually take it in, it's a big slap in the face. And I started to look around like, why wasn't anyone around to tell me this, or, you know, what was going on, or, you know. So I don't know. I just insight
it's eye-opening.
The video. It's very eye-opening. And I feel like if I would have knew this prior, maybe my life could have been different. But I'm gonna take it for what I try to do better.
So we can't. See, one thing I don't want anybody to do, men or women, is to. We found out about it when we found out about it. I remember people like, man, I wish I'd known about you 5 years ago. I was like, I wish I'd had me 10 years ago. We got what we got. But the point of the matter is, now we have information that's useful, and there's an intellectual part of us that want to know who's responsible for, basically, like, man, who's responsible for giving us all this bad information? Well, we can answer that question as we're doing the work we need to get better. But the work to get better, to improve, to be more self-aware, and to have a better quality of life right now is paramount, and it'll correct the other question on down the line, because there's an entire institution that's profits off of us being separated. But the thing is, when we're together, that's not going to threaten their profits. They'll just make money a different way, and we will too. So that's what the rise of men stepping back into the role of leader and this and that actually improves the economy, the family, all that kind of stuff. So appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get to the next folks. We're getting a little bit behind time. Francis, and then Jasmine. Night, Brittany. Francis, how are you?
Fine. How are you doing this evening, Mr. Samuel?
I am well. What do you got for me? How are things different this year?
I just want to let you know how you have changed me. I found out where I had gone wrong. And the first thing I've started to do with these young ladies is to say, forgive me for giving you some information that was not right. So that's the first thing you've done for me. The next thing you've done for me is to cause me to move out there, to open a channel to where I can help young women become marriage-minded women. and give them the tools that they need. Those tools strictly from the Word of God. And that's how you changed me. And I just want to thank you for your show. And please keep up the good work, Mr. Samuel. Don't stop.
Well, we certainly, thank you. And we certainly need women who are, elders of the community, women who are my age, older. Young ladies need to hear you say that just as much as men my age needed to see our fathers say, I'm sorry for whatever. Just like I see a lot of tears on a given week. And they're tears of joy because so many of us feel like we, are something's wrong, life has been off, and so much can be accomplished with just saying, I'm sorry, and we can do better. I appreciate it, ma'am. I got to get on to somebody else down here, Jasmine. So especially for the women telling, use this holiday season to communicate with the women in your family and see how y'all can become better overall. Hey, Jasmine, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I'm 28.
All right. So how has this year been different?
So this year has been dramatically different because I'm going to make it quick, just to simply put, you have helped me effectively listen to my boyfriend, not just listen, but effectively listen. When you've chosen the right guy, especially with the help from the elders around me, basically, long story short, like he has helped me forgiving my ex because I'm super stubborn, so that I understand more that we are not equal in the most beautiful of ways, because alone we go fast, but together we go far. But simply put, my explanation behind that is, if I'm going to act like a man, then what does a man need me for?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And especially I've gotten kind of my stubbornness from my mom. She's a hardworking woman, and she has been the mother that she could in the best of ways. But also working together, we have noticed that she has done some wrongs, and we work together to build a better relationship. But she is, we tend to be emotionally driven. And I would like to reference Scarlett, from Gone with the Wind. She was kind of all over the place. And, I feel like Rhett was really important to her in her life because he kept it to the point. But, he was really strong from walking away. So that's really all I have to say. One more thing. Also, you helped me navigate and helping men understand how to call out, the women in their lives about being abusive to them.
Right.
We try to act all nice and like, it's okay. But no, it's like you got to look really deeper within the issue. And, we tend to be, I guess, abusive in a way, but like we don't notice, or we try to manipulate our way. But that's all I really have.
We'll get there. Self-awareness. All this stuff, we're building it as we fly. We ain't gonna get perfect and get there tomorrow, but we're getting further. So I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. You ladies will be amazed at how, like I said, apologies go a long way. Who is this? Sorry. Go ahead and unmute yourself. How are you? How old are you, by the way? How old are you? Okay, go ahead.
So I was a little worried that I wouldn't be able to figure out how to do the Zoom thing, but I'm in there.
Go ahead.
So I'm really grateful for what you're doing. I started watching your shows maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and then did a lot of catch up in between. And the first time I caught one of your shows, I believe I came across you actually through a different vehicle. And so I knew your name from other stuff. And it was purely entertainment value at first. I was just like, wow. I think one of the first shows I watched was She Thinks She's a 10 or something like that. And I was just, I was floored. And I was like, oh my God, I have to watch this all the time now. What really became important and affected me, I'm a widow and I'm raising a teenage daughter. And when I was in the beginning years of my marriage, I used to watch a lot of self-help shows, things, how I could improve my marriage, how I could be a better wife. And the only resources for that were basically middle-aged white women who would give great discourses and explain to you that a man is composed in such a way that your role is to support him, to some degree feed his ego. And what I found was that most of my girlfriends who were also either Black or Latina weren't willing to hear this, older white woman explaining the way you're supposed to treat your man and your husband. And what you're doing in a much more avant-garde way and, and with a lot more strength is bringing a topic up to the Black community that we lost maybe 50 years ago. And I made a comment in the chat. I don't know what camera I'm looking at, by the way, but I made a comment in the chat that the nuclear family has been under attack for 50 years now, maybe more. And the brunt of it has been suffered the most by the African American family for different reasons that also played into that. And so our women have been taught now for possibly 1 or 2 generations that they cannot depend on Black men. This is what society is telling us.
How old is your daughter?
My daughter's 16.
Okay. So are you teaching your daughter, what are you teaching your daughter men are for in her life?
Well, she's about to start listening to your videos. So that should tell you where I'm at. I was kind of screening you a little bit because she's a little young and I was like, oh my God, can she handle this? Right. But I think she has the maturity to handle it. And I do speak to her about your topics.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you that I have to getting a little long into it. And I do have to bring other people. I'm going to tell you something. You're 48. I'm 52. My daughter's 21. Yours is 16. When my daughter was 8 years old, I was amazed at some of the stuff they were talking about. I'm not shocking. My daughter watches my content, her college. I'm not shocking. And one of the biggest disconnects is they didn't talk about relationships when we were coming up. They certainly aren't talking about them now to where these kids aren't even dating. They're just having sex. Yeah. That's all they're doing. Yeah. They're having sex. They're swiping left, swiping right. They're hooking up. So I'm saying as a mother, it is going to be incumbent that you actually talk to her before the girls in high school and the rest of the world. And it better comes from you. And if you think this is shocking, grab her, take her phone and go on her TikTok. You'll be shocked.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's why I'm preparing her to start, because your message is so important. We have forgotten our roles and what truly is fulfilling. And there's nothing more fulfilling than having a man in your life that is willing to do anything and everything to support you and your family.
So a couple more questions for you. You said you're a widow?
Yeah, I am.
How long ago did you lose your husband?
I lost my husband a year ago. Okay. So it's fairly recent. It's very painful.
Well, I would say that, it's wild out here. I'm quite sure you know it's wild out here. But how it's good that you speak, if you're speaking about men in a positive light, that men actually have a value outside of the ability to pay bills and have sex. That matters more than anything else. Let me get on. I got to get on to a few more people because we have about 6 more people there. Yes. Appreciate it, ma'am. Bye-bye. Guys, oftentimes you also have to, let's see. We got a couple more people. Oh, here we go. Sasha. iPhone. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. It says iPhone. Boom. All right. Give it one more try. Miss iPhone. That's all it says. Unmute yourself. All right, she's not unmuting herself. So it's getting late, guys, and I got a flight in the morning. And I'm getting ready to go out of town next week. I'm not going to announce where I'm going, but you'll see when I show up. Look, just think about how different the conversation is. When all this stuff first jumping up, it was like, who the hell is this dude? Who does he think he is? His mama, your mama black, blah, 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 blah. Even my critics and detractors are they're starting to be like, that's just Kevin. So it's not as shocking yet. Guys, there's a next wave. A next wave is coming because if you've been on following fashion, fragrance, or relationship kind of content, you've been enthralled in this. This stuff is going mainstream. And when it goes mainstream, we're going to jump all the way back to the beginning of Average at Best and all this other stuff. This is going to be part 2. That was Iron Man 1. We are effectively at Iron Man 1. That's where we are. Iron Man 1. Some of you guys feel like we're all the way at Infinity War. No, we are at Iron Man 1. And if you understand what I'm talking about, men understand we are at Iron Man 1. If you're in the Godfather series, we aren't even to the Godfather being shot yet in Godfather 1. We are just past the wedding in Godfather. The wedding just happened. Don Corleone says, if there's nothing else, I'd like to go to my daughter's wedding. That's where we're at right now. We're actually past that. We're actually say, Michael, where's Michael? I'm not taking a picture without Michael. Michael goes and gets Kay Adams, gets Kay and takes the picture. That's where we're at. We got a long way to go. I have 1 million subscribers. A hell of a lot. Thank you all. By the way, if you're you need to check to make sure you're still subscribed to this channel. YouTube is going through and it unsubscribes people from time to time. The algorithm, when it updates. Some people think it's malicious. Maybe it's not. Just check to make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are set to all. Next week, I want to announce some things too. I want to do some giveaways and things like that. But just make sure your notifications are set to all. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. Because a lot of stuff goes down on Instagram on the immediate and on TikTok. You know, there are a lot of people find me from TikTok, but a lot of those platforms aren't me. Follow my TikTok because we're going to be going TikTok. I'm going to just give you an upfront. Self-awareness is sexy. I said it. I'm already a couple, 3-4 weeks ago. I'm going to start bringing in more and more people from that side of the camera in. The work never stops. I'm going to be going out in the field talking to people. That's right. So don't be surprised if you see me in your city walking around talking to people. If you see a 6'4" brother in some Chelsea boots and a suit smelling good, that's me. That's hi, how you doing? I'm cool to shake pictures. Take pictures, give you a pound on shake hands. We can do that in the Corona. Take pictures and keep on. Thank you. That's what we do. I am good with that. Tiff, unmute yourself. Look, I know that a lot of men did not learn this stuff coming up. And I need you men and you ladies to understand, we don't have to finish life how we started it. We can choose to finish strong. Whatever mistakes you made, hold on, Tiffany. Whatever mistakes you made prior to 2019, they're there. Whatever mistake you made prior to Average at Best, it happened. What comes next? Hello, how are you? Tiffany? You muted yourself. You gotta unmute yourself.
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm well. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, you sound like you
25
have.
and recently engaged.
Okay, cool. Sounds like you have YouTube on in the background.
Oh,
You
yes. I actually was
mute it.
watching the show on the TV. I'll turn it off.
You gotta turn it off.
Oh, pardon.
Yeah, she still has it on. All right. So when you guys have it on in the background, guys, understand something. You see all the angles changing and all this other stuff. We're just getting started. We're just getting started, taking the production value up higher. This stuff is going to have an assistant behind it. Tiffany, go ahead and unmute yourself again. I want this show to be. It's going to become much more interactive, much more involving. Hello, Tiffany. How are you? You said you're 25 and you're engaged?
Yes, I am. Recently engaged.
Oh, congratulations.
About a couple months. Thank you. Thank you so much. All thanks to your videos. Really, my fiance, when we were dating a year ago, we were dating for a long time, but he showed me one of your videos and I realized that I wasn't treating men the way I was supposed to. He taught me and he taught me with your videos. We watched them, we tune into the live ones Monday and Wednesday and Friday. And he's teaching me how to be, treat a high class man like himself because he's a doctor, he's a breadwinner in our family. And yes, I am educated, but I quit my job so that I can be a good, loving wife. And prepare for our marriage together. And when we have our kids, I need to be a good cook, a good mother, and a good wife, and treat them with respect. Because that's what high class men are looking for these days.
Well, congratulations
and with honesty.
You're kind of. I think there's a little delay. Well, congratulations, number one. Number two, send me an email with your. Not an official invitation, but send me an email with the wedding date and invitation. Because I'm starting sending out wedding gifts. I've just made the decision. I'm starting sending out goddamn wedding gifts. Because if these weddings are starting to happen, appreciate it. And happy holidays, man. I got to get on to one more person. Thank you very much. Look, ladies.
And I want to tell you.
Go ahead. You still there? Go ahead, Tiffany. You still there? I don't know what just happened. She blanked out on me. Well, here's the thing. She kind of blanked out on me. But anyway, when people say they're getting married, when I start, and I send good gifts. You goddamn right, I send good gifts. I'm not cheap. I send good stuff. Because I'll be damned if you send me, I want a good gift too. Send a good gift. Number one. Number two, I lost my train of thought. I was saying that I'm going to be out and about. Self-awareness is sexy. All this other stuff, interactive content. It's about moving the needle forward, involving more people in the platform. Hello, how are you? I can. How old are you? 36. Okay, what do you got for me? How are things different this year?
Thank you for having me. I watched that video, Average at Best, and I gotta say, I mean, I was really triggered. I was really triggered, and I'm like, damn, this guy's checking me like no one ever has. I feel like I realized that, I haven't taken responsibility really for how my relationships have gone. And it made me upset. Like it made me upset, triggered, mad. And I could only look at myself, I could only come back and I can't, I'm too old to blame my parents, right? I'm too old to blame friends or mentors or whatever. Like it doesn't even matter. It all just comes back to how I live life in 2021 and so on. Right?
Do you have any children?
I don't. No, I don't. I just actually, I am divorced. Actually, I settled a financial settlement actually today. So
okay,
yeah.
Well,
but I don't have any children.
Well, but one day you'll get back out in the dating environment, and I'm going to say something too. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. I'm going to say something to all you ladies, and I need you to understand what I'm about to say and the intent in which I'm saying it. Ladies, understand something. One of the most sexy, alluring, and enticing things any woman can be to a man of value is teachable. Teachable. Let me tell you what it does. Teachable flies directly opposite to the need to be right. It flies directly opposite to the need to be right. So it automatically undercuts sign language. Being teachable is something a woman can do for her man, and it is something that you can give him that you never gave anybody else. Remember, I used to ask the question, what do you have to offer a man that he wants that you have not given to another man? That question vexes me like it vexed you. And sorry, you're not a virgin. You can't give it. You can't fall in love the first time. You've already been it. You've already done a lot of these things. But I refuse to throw a whole entire group of women away because they're over a certain age and we didn't know. I don't think that way. But I think one of the things you're hearing is you're hearing women who have been able to put off their feelings of being triggered or whatever and made themselves open. Being teachable is what a lot of men really desire, because that means you're almost customized for him. Being teachable. Good faith now. This is not a manipulative chameleon tactic. This is real. This is like you hear women saying, I was going to school to get a degree. I quit that and I'm deciding to go over and do such and so forth. Men are just asking for you guys to be what makes most women happiest, to be helpmeets, to be support systems. That does not mean barefoot, uneducated, and in the kitchen and pregnant. That's not what that means. There is nothing, in my opinion, quite as sexy as a woman who has a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD, and then takes that and is using that to help the family business grow. Enough to where your husband can leave corporate America or the rat race and start their own business, to where you're eating off of what he makes. Because when I was in corporate America, I told you I sold in excess of $45 million in products and services. And a lot of people ate off my effort. When you own your own stuff, sometimes I do think, what if the world could have been different? I could have started my own LLC, and the same companies I was working for, I could have contracted with, had my own consulting firm, bought stuff from them in bulk, sold to the very same people I sold from, giving them the same thing. I would have made at least 10%. At least 10%. So that's 4.5 million. I did very well in corporate America, but I tell you, you don't make what you make in business. And the thing is, most people, I'm going to also tell you, men in general, black men in particular, you want to know one of the major reasons to get married? Vertical building. Vertical. We got a bunch of horizontal business. You're an owner, I'm an owner, he's an owner, everybody's an owner. But if you want to build vertically, it's not about being good at what you do. It's about being able to work with people. Marrying into wives of, man, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. And I know I'm just tell you right now, I know I got a broadcast next week that is going to be contra-fucking-versial with the men. But it's only tailored to a sector of men. It is not for most men. But for the men who want legacy, men who want to have a family, you want to build that kind of stuff, man, I don't even want to say it. I'm going to have to drink before that broadcast. they might boycott. No, they ain't gonna boycott me because the guys who ain't gonna be interested in it, they ain't gonna even watch it no way. So that is what it is. Shout out to Yemi Mind Boss. I was gonna pay my light bill, but I'd rather super chat and teachable method on the head. It couldn't be more right. I was sitting in the dark for a month for that. Shout out to Yemi Mind Boss, man. Men ain't asking for much, ladies. Men will go down in looks to go up in cooperation all day long and twice on Sundays. When I say men are simple, we are simple in our actual desires. We only get complex when the basic core desires aren't met. Oh, shit! Put that in the fucking greeting card. Men are simple. We are simple in our base desires. We're only complex when our base needs aren't met. God damn. I need to start making t-shirts. Next year, I'm going to launch merchandise. Yes, t-shirts. I'm a PhD. I want the onesies that say my mommy's a PhD. I want onesies that say my mama got a cookbook. That's right. Yeah. I want little shirts that say future CIA, future FBI. Goddamn right. Yeah. Taking over with y'all's help. All we need is to make difference where we are, people. Also, men are very simple. We're very simple. The reason it's so complex is because when a man can't get those simple needs met, we got to try to get a portion of them here and there and here and there. When all he really wants is the big piece of chicken and a shoulder rub, a kiss on the forehead, and a you mean the world to me. This doesn't work without you. I'm lucky to have a man like you. He ain't got to take the elevator. He'll jump out the motherfucking window and fly down. Men are very simple. You are either his kryptonite or his power source. Which one is it, ladies? Are you kryptonite or are you the power source? You cannot be both. You got to pick. But it is better. Did you hear the woman that said she went from making $9,000-$10,000 or so and so a month to making half of that? You know what she say? She's less stressed and happier. Who told you you needed to go out here and build and be ambitious and build a career in this? Is that really what you want? Man, I'm gonna start preaching here, and I got stuff to do. I got to go see my mama. I'm gonna see my mama tomorrow. So see my mama. That's right. I want to see my mama. Yeah, my mama like me. I want to see my mother.
Why is it so hard to understand that sometimes you simply need to do better? Not just for a relationship, not just for a man, but for your children, for your legacy, for the bigger picture. Somewhere along the line, ego became more important than outcomes. Feelings became more important than family structure. And now anytime someone holds up a mirror, the response isn't reflection, it's outrage. Put your ego aside for a second. Stop centering every conversation around your French toast butterscotch feelings and look at what actually produces a good life. Because that's the real question. Do you want to be right or do you want results? When Kevin Samuels said some women were mad because a spotlight was placed on their behavior, that wasn't hate, that was observation. The average at best conversation offended women globally, not because he insulted all women, but because too many saw themselves in her and didn't like the reflection. Let's be honest. She may have sounded soft-spoken. She may have appeared nervous, but clarity isn't about tone. It's about content. And the content was this. She would not submit to a man who made less than her. Think about that. That means submission, cooperation, and agreeableness were conditional, based on income, based on career status, based on hierarchy. So let's break that down. If a man is hardworking, disciplined, morally upright, but earns less, he's disqualified. That includes someone's son, someone's brother, someone's uncle, someone's cousin. But we're pretending that mindset isn't transactional. We're pretending that isn't conditional respect. That's the issue. Submission, real submission, isn't about money. It's about trust in leadership, character, direction. If it only activates when a paycheck crosses a certain threshold, then it's not principle, it's leverage. And instead of women internalizing that and asking, do I think like this? Have I tied my femininity to financial comparison? The reaction was to attack the messenger. That's what happens when accountability collides with identity. You can't grow if every critique feels like a personal attack. No one is saying women shouldn't earn. No one is saying women shouldn't be educated. But if your cooperation only exists when you're financially impressed, then what you're offering isn't partnership, it's performance. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Children benefit from stability. Families benefit from cooperation. Communities benefit from accountability. But ego benefits from applause. A lot of people chose applause. It went over their heads because it required humility to receive it. And humility is rare in a culture that confuses independence with invulnerability. At the end of the day, this isn't about men versus women. It's about whether we're willing to examine ourselves honestly. Because you can silence the messenger, you can cancel the clip, you can call it offensive. But if the behavior doesn't change, neither will the outcomes. And outcomes don't care about feelings.